morning, my loves. Welcome back. So in today's video, we are talking about Saturn. Saturn conjunct the Ascendant in Composite. What do we get when we have this pairing? Well. This is, this can be a very lasting aspect, right? The Ascendant is the aura of the relationship. That's how I like to see it, right? The aura. It's not necessarily just what you see with your beautiful eyes. You know, it's not just the physique, the appearance, but it's the aura, it's the vibe you get when you meet that pair, right? That's the Ascendant. It's like, what's their vibe? And when Saturn is in the mix, in the game here, well, the vibe that you get with this pairing is often a little restrictive. There is a little restriction there. There's a wall almost, like with this couple. You get them, but you don't really get them. And within the pairing, within the couple, there is also this restrictive feeling. You know, the couple, they might have really beautiful aspects together, you know, Mars conjunct Venus, the moon trine the sun, but then you have this, and this will always just, you feel like you're falling short of something. You don't really know what it is. There's always an obstacle in the way, but you can't necessarily see the obstacle, but it feels like someone is holding the horses a little too tight, right? It's like, oh no, we are not moving forward. We are just like, it's always like this, holding back. And even though, like I said, this can be a lasting, or this can be an indicator for a lasting relationship, it may, especially in the learning years, right? In the years where we get to know each other, the first 5-6 years, it's a slow burn. And then, depending on where you're at consciously, each partner, you know, where they are at consciously, you can manage to utilize the energy of Saturn to make the bond really strong, to really feel strong in this relationship, right? This is like a fucking castle. This is not a house that was made of bamboo. This relationship can become a castle. However, you gotta really be conscious of the restrictive factor. Remember, you know, when we look at the royal family, there are a lot of restrictions for them. You know, they can't just run out there, you know, with their shopping bag and go get the groceries, right? There are a lot of restrictions, and it's kind of like that with this aspect. So let's say you get through the tougher years and you make this work and you build your castle. You gotta make sure that you are both two strong individuals living in this castle behind those walls, right? Even if the people outside may not really be able to reach you, you might always feel a little distant to them. Make sure that you are not distant with each other or to each other, right? Because that can also happen, right? You might feel like, okay, I will have this partner forever, but, you know, I'm not really, there's no passion, there's no desire, something missing. You can feel that in this relationship very, 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 very strongly. But at the same time, you will feel like, oh, but, you know, they've got me, and I've got them. But you gotta make sure that you bring in the desire, because this is a very strong one. This aspect can be very, very strong and overshadow a lot of other aspects that are, you know, passionate. You know, honestly, it's a very, very strong aspect that should not be underestimated. So if you manage to get through the hoops, trials and tribulations, and you build your castle, make sure that you also have some parties in that castle, right? Like, have some parties, have some fun, bring the people in, have some fun with each other, you know, just have some beautiful romantic nights in front of the fire. Keep the flame alive, because the flame can diminish with this aspect a little bit. We will feel strong with that partner, but we, you know, the je ne sais quoi, maybe lost a little. So you have to really become conscious here and just, you know, keep lighting that fire. Keep lighting that fire. Other than that, I mean, I really like this aspect, even though it can be a little restrictive. I've had this in an out of sign conjunction where the ascendant was in 28 degrees and then Saturn was in 0.5 degrees of the next sign. And even there, you know, it was there. It was definitely there. And it was very difficult to let go of that relationship. Very difficult. Because this strength, it felt like no one could enter that castle, no one could get into that castle, and we couldn't get out of the castle. And that was probably the issue here. So yeah, if you have any questions about this not so little aspect, feel free to ask. Also, always remember the first house, the ascendant, like I said, is the vibe, it's the identity that we hold. But then there's more, right? We get to the next house where we have to look at our values. You know, if we have this aspect and then we have shared values, that is actually really beautiful. We still need to make sure we keep the flame alive. We keep, we work on the passion in this relationship. But if you have this aspect and then you have the value piece set as well, it is really hard to break this relationship. I mean, you have to have really nasty stuff come up to kill this vibe, because that's a strong vibe, very strong vibe. Of course, nothing is certain to last. Obviously, in the reality we live in, everything passes eventually. But with this aspect, this can be a long-running one. Long-running. And by long, I mean long. Again, if the value piece is in there as well, because that is important, right? Are we sharing the same values? But we can talk about this in a separate video. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. If you want a personal reading, feel free to book it by clicking on the link in the description box. You can get any reading. You can also get recordings. I offer recordings as well that you can then keep, right? Like a reading is a one-time occurrence, but with the recording, you will have that forever. So you can order that as well. And any other questions, feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer. And yeah, have a beautiful day, and I will see you in the next video.